It's post-World War II Europe, and the dictator Mussolini has been hanged. With the end of fascism in Italy, the country began to experience an economic boom that would last throughout the 50s and continue into the 60s. Upon the ruins of a war-torn country, a new society is built, one that is deeply materialistic and capitalist. The unprecedented economic growth resulted in a new ideal life, led by the celebrities and the aristocrats. It was a sweet life of parties and scandals, a luxurious and extravagant lifestyle that was made famous by journalists and paparazzi. The term paparazzi itself first originating from Federico Fellini's film La Dolce Vita. On April 9th, 1953, just 7 years before the film debuted, the body of Wilma Montesi washed up on a beach near Ostia. Only 21 years old, she had allegedly attended a party, or more accurately an orgy, held by wealthy right-wing playboy aristocrat Ugo Montagna. Allegedly, and we have to keep saying allegedly because he was never found guilty, Montagna and an accomplice, Piero Piccioni, had drugged, abused, and left the girl to die on the beach. The police ruled it an accident, but the Roman public wasn't so quick to agree, and so started the Montesi affair, where paparazzi and journalists tried to expose the defendants to no avail. Piccioni's father was the deputy prime minister, and Montagna was later linked to mobsters, potentially the mafia. If they were the killers, they had more than enough power to cover it up for good. The story that's still held official today is that Montesi tripped, fell, and drowned in the ocean by mistake. The incident was a motivating factor behind Fellini's making of La Dolce Vita, a film that explores journalism's relationship with the Roman elite during this period of Italian history. Wouldn't you know it, the film's final scene depicts a dead sea creature washing up on the same beach where Wilma Montesi was found. And it happens after an orgy, no less. Marcello Mastroianni stars as a journalist with ambitions to become a writer. Throughout 7 episodic arcs, we witness Marcello chase after this idealistic life in the upper social circles of Rome's elite. The settings and mise-en-scène are fittingly Fellini-esque, depicting a fantastical world that's foreign to all but the rich. The cinematography consists mostly of wide and medium shots, with few close-ups and no extreme close-ups. It's almost as if we're detached from this world, viewing it all from a distance. You could relate this to how distant the characters are from one another, or perhaps how distant the average viewer is from this lifestyle. We can only dream about what it would be like to live in castles. The elite are living it, and they've been living it so long that they're bored of it. Throughout the film, we're introduced to celebrities and aristocrats, but shockingly, they aren't portrayed as happy. It's unfathomable to us how anyone with so much money could ever be unfulfilled in life, but Fellini portrays the dark side of human ambition. People always desire more. Steiner, for example, is a character who isn't satisfied with being a celebrated writer, traveling the world, owning a house, and having a family. He's afraid of the future for his children and feels trapped. So, in a rather depressive episode, he kills himself and his 2 children. On the other hand, Maddalena is a rich and famous public figure who wants someone to love and marry, despite being as unfaithful as Marcello himself. She even makes out with another guy in the middle of her marriage proposal. You could say they're made for each other. Complementing and contrasting the celebrities, paparazzi and journalism are another key aspect of La Dolce Vita. Throughout the different chapters of the film, we see how paparazzi act as vultures, taking pictures of everyone whether they like it or not. The journalist they work with reports on every meaningless aspect of the celebrities' lives, like what clothes they wear to bed. With society now favoring this lifestyle, the race for fame and money causes people to throw their own values under the bus. Ordinary people have to stoop so low as to lie about miracles to get a shred of the same public attention. The third day of La Dolce Vita focuses on this phenomenon, as Marcello tries to make sense of an apparent miracle, the sighting of the Virgin Mary by 2 children. It's obviously a lie made up by the parents, and the stunt leads to an innocent child's death by stampede after chaos ensues. Going back one day to the second, we meet Sylvia, who is a Swedish actress working in American films. Her story is perhaps the most famous sequence in the film, as Fellini highlights the differences between Italian and American culture through Marcello and Sylvia's interactions with each other and the world. Classical music is contrasted with rock and roll, old rules and traditions are broken in the expression of freedom. To no surprise, the Vatican protested against this profane portrayal of love in the famous Trevi Fountain, and tried to have the film censored in Italy. They weren't successful, but their condemnation of the film was enough to bring people packing into theaters to see something they weren't supposed to. This undoubtedly led to La Dolce Vita's notoriety and importance in the history of Italian film. Straight from the opening scene, there's symbolism to be found here. A statue of Jesus Christ flies over Rome, specifically over women sunbathing in bikinis, another invention of the modern world that was disapproved of by the Catholic Church. Men and women are unable to communicate with each other, foreshadowing the themes present throughout the movie as well as the final scene. Paola is the only character who isn't a part of this world. She plays a very ambiguous role in the story, only appearing in a brief intermezzo and the final scene. Like many of Fellini's enigmatic characters, she symbolizes youth, innocence, and, I think, a type of joy that the main character has lost over the years. Marcello sees in Paola a long-lost reality, a time when he still had real ambitions. Their inability to communicate at the beach is Marcello's somber farewell to all the things she embodies. Martin Scorsese described La Dolce Vita as
It's a life where the values are gone, a lifestyle where the values are nothing.
And I couldn't agree more. Not only is this a lifestyle of promiscuous cheating, but it's also a world where your own father steals your girl. It's a world where Marcello gets mad at his fiancée because she doesn't want him sleeping with other women. It's a world where the rich throw lavish parties in castles and are baffled by people who actually work for a living. It's a shallow and materialistic world that brings out the worst in people. And this brings us once again to our old friend Steiner. One breakdown prompts another, and after Marcello is witness to Steiner's murder of his children, he enters a sort of depressive episode. It is during this episode, the last one in the film, that he announces his retirement from journalism and literature, letting go of both his dreams in favor of being a publishing agent. This allows him more time to do what he truly loves and hates: attend more scandalous parties where the values are gone. At this one in particular, they're celebrating a woman's divorce. After watching each other striptease for so long they've become bored of it, the party stumbles out into the new day. They end up where many of Fellini's characters seem to end up, the beach, and come face to face with the reality of the sea monster. Marcello comes face to face with Paola. In them, we see everything that's been lost in this sweet life. Youth, innocence, happiness, and innocent lives. As Marcello marches to a melancholic ending, we're treated to a fourth wall break. Paola, for just a second, looks through the camera and at the audience. It's ambiguous and open to endless interpretation, but I think it's a warning against becoming Marcello and losing yourself in La Dolce Vita.